Welcome back to the Kaspa Silver YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to cover some news topics that has happened with Kaspa over the past few weeks. And before we begin, let's first look at some statistics for Kaspa. So far, Kaspa is back just under 10 cents. It's at that 0.0999. Our current volume is at $20 million. We're still at number 38 rank, and our market cap is currently sitting at 2.2 billion Kaspa. We're about 13 days before the next reduction in the block reward. The block reward currently is 139 Kaspa, and the next reduction will bring it down to 131 Kaspa. Our current hash rate is at 147 petahashes, and I was just looking at this like a second ago. It was at 140 petahashes. So it looks like an all-time high is going to be created pretty soon here. We can see that our highest hash rate was at 159 petahashes. Really, at this moment, I just believe the price is correlated a lot to Bitcoin, since Bitcoin has not been recovering at all, and it's just kind of been on a downtrend. Kaspa is just following the whole entire market, because if you don't already know this, crypto tends to just follow Bitcoin in a lot of instances. So let's go and take a look at the top addresses here. And we could see that we're currently sitting at 335,000 addresses. Just know that this does not represent individual users, because obviously it is very easy to create multiple addresses per one user. But if we're looking at the address distribution, you could see that there's a lot of red, and that maybe a lot of people are consolidating their Kaspa into one address, or a lot of people are selling. But nonetheless, we can take a look here and just see that the top wallets are mainly filled with exchanges. This number one wallet has still not been tagged, and I'm pretty sure it is KuCoin still, but they're just simply not using this wallet, as they are using their other wallet to still move cash around for users. You can see that KuCoin has two other wallets over here, one with 41 million Kaspa and another one with 2 million Kaspa that is actually tagged, that we know for sure they're using. And then there's this number one wallet that currently has received a ton of Kaspa, but usually they all have come from the KuCoin wallet. So pretty much, I think this is just KuCoin trying to consolidate their Kaspa into another wallet. And ultimately, this means that KuCoin has almost a billion Kaspa. So that is a lot of Kaspa for an exchange that has. So please just remember, if you have not moved your Kaspa off exchanges, by all means, check my YouTube playlist where I talk about the different types of wallets that you should consider to hold your Kaspa completely offline, so that no exchange has control over your funds. If we go over to Kaspa Analytics, we can take a look at the supply movement, and you can see that the supply not moved in over 1 year has currently been on the rise. And we can go ahead and move this to the left over here. So the supply not moved in over 1 year is at about 15%, still trying to hit 16%. If we're looking at inactive for the past 6 months, you could see that since Christmas, a lot of people have been moving their Kaspa a lot more, but not that much. It's still at about 34% of the whole entire supply has not moved in over 6 months. And if we're checking the 3 months, we can also see that it did have a little bit of a drop recently, but is still hovering close to about 50% of the whole entire supply has not moved in over 3 months. And if we're looking at the 2 years, the 2 years does not have any dips and just continues to increase. And we can see that about 2.53% of the whole entire supply has not moved in over 2 years. Another good thing to be looking at with this website is the transactions counts, and it is really good to see that we're pretty steady on regular transactions, meaning the transactions that are not including blocks that are just paying out miners. These are actual transactions that people are, meaning that they're using Kaspa for actual moving around or for payments or whatever they want to use it for. But it looks like every single day it's hovering around the 35K to 40K transactions a day. So let's move on to some news that we can see on X. And first off is Kraken has now listed perpetual futures for Kaspa. And it seems like a lot of exchanges now just continuously want to list futures for Kaspa and not an actual spot listing. So futures just allow people to basically trade Kaspa with leverage betting against where the future price of Kaspa is going to go, but still doesn't allow people to buy Kaspa and hold it on their exchange or buy it and send it off to their own wallets. But clearly, these exchanges are showing their interest in Kaspa. And to be honest, I personally believe that they are not listing Kaspa fully because one, they need to first build liquidity to have enough Kaspa to have accessible to their users. And then number two, I also believe it may be that exchanges are waiting for 10 blocks per second and Rust to come live on Kaspa before they go ahead and integrate Kaspa on their exchange. But really, no one knows for sure. But the good thing is we are seeing attention on these exchanges. They do want Kaspa, and it's just a matter of time until they start to actually list it on spot. And now currently we have Binance, Kraken, and OKX that have shown some sort of interest on Kaspa but still have not listed on spot. The next thing I want to talk about here is the altcoinist.com actually mentioned me in one of his tweets for very solid YouTube influencers, and he shouted me out saying the go-to channel for understanding the fundamentals and everything that's Kaspa related, quality content. And I just want to thank this profile that decided to shout me out on this video. Thank you so much, and thank you guys for all the support. Because of you guys giving me support and watching my videos and shouting me out to other people, we were able to get mentioned on this profile, and it helps bring more education and adoption for Kaspa as people continue looking to educate themselves in this space. The next thing I want to talk about is just a reminder that Tangem can now do swaps via ChangeNow within the app directly. And if you have not used this yet, please make sure that you have updated your Tangem app so that you can have this latest feature. This does make it a lot more easier to purchase Kaspa, for example, because usually there's a lot of swaps that you can use to get some Kaspa. So all you have to do is just basically, for example, send USDT and then you could swap it directly into Kaspa. I wouldn't recommend that because especially if you're using the Ethereum chain, you could see that the fees are really high. I use something like XLM. So the best practice would be to go to whichever exchange that you normally purchase crypto and that has XLM available, and then you can just buy that, send it to your Tangem wallet, and then you could swap directly into Kaspa. I've done it in my Tangem 2.0 review video, and in that video I showcased how I lost about $1 in that exchange when I wanted to buy just $50 worth of Kaspa. So pretty much XLM is the way to go if you want to reduce those fees. Next, I want to show you is something that is really great for the adoption of Kaspa and just shows that more and more people believe in this project and actually want to contribute to this project. So this is a new website that was built by some community members called Kaspa Funding. And basically the way it works is it's a website that allows people to point their miners to a specific Kaspa address that can then be used for funding Kaspa's future developments or whatever. So you could see that the coins get mined and then it goes to a Kaspa funding wallet. The Kaspa funding wallet is coins held in that wallet until a community vote for an event or project requiring Kaspa. The treasurer signs and sends Kaspa funded event or project delivered, new CAS community initiative proposed for funding. So people can willingly decide to point their ASICs to this address and start building a fund for Kaspa, and then we get to vote on if we should use this fund for a specific new development or a project idea or just some initiative. And we could see here that there's currently about 2.26 terahashes already going at this wallet, and this wallet is now earning Kaspa for future funding. And you can see that Bubblegum Lightning has supported this by pointing his miner there, Kaspa.com, and then there's some others that have supported as well, but it looks like their miners are offline. But we also got these 3 miners up here. So mainly these are the main workers, and then these are the community miners, and it says miners pointed to the Kaspa funding wallet by Kaspa generous community. So yeah, this is just from people that are generously wanting to support this initiative, and this will just help funding in the future so that we're not only dependent on collecting funding by asking people to donate. We can already have some more Kaspa just locked away, saving up for additional developments. So this is just really cool to see that adoption like this is happening. People really believe in this project, and this just shows good future success for Kaspa. The next thing that was added for Kaspa was a new on-ramp on the Kaspa.org site. If you go to the Kaspa.org site, it's called On-Ramp Money, and this allows you to just basically on-ramp different currencies from different countries and get them on here to instantly swap in to Kaspa. So this is always good that we keep getting more on-ramps, more exchanges, more listings, because it just makes it easier for Kaspa to be accessible for all. The next thing here is Kaspa being mentioned by Paul Barron. If you don't know who Paul Barron is, he is a pretty big X profile, and he is a CEO futurist reporting on Bitcoin, crypto, metaverse, crypto gaming, NFT, tech, plus investing, computer science expert. He has over 152,000 followers, and he decided to say these tokens are now on our market sentiment index to track top crypto sentiment when looking for narratives that drive the markets. 7 new cryptos listed this week, and he added Kaspa to this list, and Kaspa's in the center there because clearly Kaspa is driving a lot of attention, and it pretty much just cannot be ignored. The next thing I want to show you is just some more adoption things related to Kaspa. Kaspa did just put on a new UK ambassador, and these ambassadors are just volunteers, but he created a very, very cool card that is connected with NFC capabilities that he can give to someone and have them go ahead and tap it to their phones, and then it'll bring them to a website to see all the information of Kaspa, to just simply make it easier for merchants to possibly consider accepting Kaspa as payment. But these ambassadors are spread across the whole entire world pretty much, and they're helping bring adoption for Kaspa fully voluntarily, and it's funded by the community, which have done different community fundings for the marketing aspect of Kaspa. So this is always good to see that people are involved and building new things to help bring Kaspa adoption. Next thing related to Kaspa adoption is Kaspa education in Kenya. And we could see here that this Kaspa ambassador that's in Kenya has planned a ton of events in different universities to teach education about Kaspa. So this is just really cool to see that the adoption continues. People are not stopping and telling people about Kaspa and making them learn new things. Next we have is another listing for Kaspa, and this is an actual spot listing on an exchange called CoinStore. I don't personally use exchange. I don't know how legit this exchange is, but again, this is always good for the adoption of Kaspa, just continuously getting more listings. The next thing here I want to show you is Jonathan, and this is a picture of Jonathan that Shai had taken, and he says it's 2300. Can someone tell this guy to stop working? And we can see here that Jonathan is busy at work just doing some math calculations, it looks like, on the board, but totally just showing that they're not giving up. They're continuously working, and they don't care about the market narratives or the price or anything like that. It's just all about being passionate about for what they're trying to build and succeed. And next year kind of just puts more emphasis on that. And Shai says in this tweet here, he says, now that the CAS testnet 11 has been running flawlessly on 10 blocks per second for 10 days, I think it's a good time to bring out this old gem. And I really recommend that you do read this article from Shai. But this user over here, he is the founder of Cubic, which is another cryptocurrency. And he says here 10 blocks per second is 100 milliseconds per block. Light can travel only half of Earth's equator distance during that time. 10 BPS is feasible if most of miners are close to each other. And Shai says, you're assuming that miners have to be synchronized to be secure, which is exactly the assumption we managed to remove on Kaspa. The whole point is that we remain secure while the block delay is much smaller than the network latency. And then the founder of Cubic says, right, I was assuming that. What you did looks like a miracle. And any actual technological background developer that's in the crypto space and they look at Kaspa, they cannot deny that Kaspa's technology is revolutionary to the crypto space, which is why, in my opinion, I believe it's still undervalued and will continue to attract more and more people over time. So it has been over 10 days that Kaspa 10 blocks per second has been running in testnet. And so far, everything's been going pretty smoothly. A lot of testing has been done. And this is the Kaspa block DAG visualizer to see here. And you can see how fast it is operating at 10 blocks per second. But just be ready and be patient because this testing is probably going to go on for about 6 months, in my opinion. And eventually, they will announce that 10 blocks per second is ready for mainnet. And then after that gets released, we can potentially start seeing more movement towards smart contracts and DAG Knight protocol in the future. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And again, if you have not considered getting yourself a wallet, please check the links down below. I have links to different wallets that you can look into and decide to hold your Kaspa completely offline. If you use any of my codes to get any kind of discounts, I just want to thank you so much because I do receive a commission from those and it does help support this channel. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new around here. And as always, don't be average, be different.